Global investors are bracing for another rocky week after US tariffs began taking effect. Chinese markets faced a grim Monday as Beijing retaliated against the punishing duties, while Taiwan regulators imposed temporary controls on short selling to try and limit the turmoil. Foreshadowing what may come after the opening bell on Monday, Middle East markets, which trade on Sundays, suffered their worst decline since the year 2020. And as far as Wall Street is concerned, which just had its worst week in 5 years, uncertainty is leading firms to call off initial public offerings and denting hopes of deal-making resurgence. The US president denied engineering a stock market sell-off, by the way, and likened the pain of reordering the global economy to taking medicine for an illness. Now, you have to understand why it matters. After plunging on Thursday and Friday last week, global markets sank even further Sunday night, threatening one of the worst three-day routes in history. Investors who spent all weekend hoping for some kind of policy reversal on tariffs realized that none were actually coming and sold off across asset classes in earnest. The dollar continued to weaken, oil fell below $60 for the first time in years, and even tariff safe haven gold sold off. But to understand the larger ramifications, we will go across to Peter McGuire in a few moments. Let's just listen in to what the US president had to say regarding the global turmoil that's been unleashed with these tariffs.
I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. And we have such a horrible, we have been treated so badly by other countries because we had stupid leadership that allowed this to happen. They took our businesses, they took our money, they took our jobs, they moved it to Mexico, they moved it to Canada, they moved a lot of it to China, and it's not sustainable. We're not going to do it.
For an expert's take on the matter, Peter McGuire joins us live at the moment. Thank you so much, sir, for making time for us. The US Treasury Secretary has again dismissed fears of a recession as we speak, saying that the market consistently underestimates Donald Trump. Many suggest this is delusional. But what would you say Wall Street is bracing for a potential repeat of 1987's brutal Black Monday?
Well, good morning, Parmeshwar. I can certainly remember that day, and I remember it fondly. And I'm not suggesting it's going to be the same as that, but it's certainly, I'm looking at Hong Kong now. I'm certainly taking on board what's happening in Tokyo. Australia's well down, the best part of 4%. But when you're looking at those markets collectively, China, the CSI 300's down nearly 6%. And, as it says there on the screen, 9% for Hong Kong. It's a very brutal day to the downside.
In fact, Peter, billionaire hedge fund manager and also Trump supporter Bill Ackman has warned of an economic nuclear winter if the Donald Trump administration and Trump didn't pause the tariff regime. Do you agree with his assessment? Is it fair?
Well, I don't know if it's totally fair. I mean, I look at last Friday's from a good side story and a good news story. Non-farm payrolls had 228,000 positions added, so that's a good sign. Bond yields are coming down. Crude energy prices, which is wonderful for certainly countries like China and India, is under now $60 a barrel, and I think that you'll see further falls across that sector and significant ones. And as far as the tariffs are concerned, I've got to listen to the likes of Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and, of course, Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, to get their views and objective, I think, opinion across the markets. But it's certainly one at the moment that there is considerable downside risk, and everyone's very mindful of it.
And would you say that global markets are expected to remain spooked for a bit?
Yes, I do. Look, Parmeshwar, you can't take this sort of pounding over the last couple of days and not have some sort of negative viewpoint. And that's what's happened. It's been, this is now day 3 or day 4 of significant sell-offs. And we've got a long day to go in the sense where it's only, it's early in the morning in Delhi. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 12 o'clock noon in Sydney, and we've got all of Asia to run today, then Europe and of course New York to take us over the footprint of that 24-hour window and what Monday represents. So yes, I'm expecting there to be these falls to continue as the day progresses.
Well, Peter, thank you so much for joining us with your view. Not many people are optimistic as we speak at this point. We will, of course, remain in touch with you for regular updates.